Hello everyone and welcome back to City Skylines, the 1 hour a day build in the town of Lifstrom with me, your host, and we can almost say deranged now, Mayor Zerberus. Last episode, I decided that we really don't want to keep building with 250k people in our city. It's just going to slow everything down too much. So we decided to move forward with some of the basically de-rising, so to speak, turning all this into low density. And we're probably actually going to cut this back too. And we also installed a forestry industry. So yeah, I'm going to grab a sip of whiskey cola and let's get to it. Cheers. So, if we let it run, it's still running somewhat reasonably fast. We're making 10,000 a week, losing 10,000 a week, which is still okay. Everybody has worker issues. I think, and they especially have worker issues. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give them their commercial zone. It's not going to be anything huge. Most importantly, it's going to be a train station. Well, something's up. Oh, some of that's all upgrading, and the low density isn't coming in over here either. Yet. Since we don't, well, we do actually want to use the 4-lane road here. 4-lane two-way. Just make it like a large circular almost circular zone. We can still change that though. I mean, what's the move at mod 4 if not for making circles where they weren't and decircling things that shouldn't be. That looks a little bit better. Oh, I see the problem. It's not so bad anyway. We'll leave it. Because the important thing here is actually this. There, we want that straight. There, thank you. That's the way I want the chat to look. So, and now we will grab one of our train stations. Out here, no, out here we don't want to use one of those city train stations that we were using. We're going to want... We could give them something modern. Or really just something super small. That's the city station we were talking about. Those are a little bit too hyper modern for this area. Glass station. Do I have that with one track? That looks fine. We can use that. So, and then we will, train tracks. That's what we need, exactly. So we'll just drag this up here. It also gives them, why did that not? Oh, because we're not supposed to connect it to a road. Yeah, I actually agree on that, believe it or not. I don't like the way that swings out. Much better. Of course they want a water pipe. Give it to them. that immediately covered the entire zone there, didn't it? Wonderful. And this track, yeah, will lead all the way to Central Station, where we can now add a train line to here and back, and that's likely to be a reasonably large driver of growth then back there. That's what we hope. We do want to stick around somewhere in the middle of the day though. It's getting a bit late for construction workers to be out on the road. I think we'll just actually... well, that's actually not a good idea. This might be. But we just don't want it that close to this. That's the problem here. We'll make that a park. So we need a district over here. First off. Not that there are necessarily going to be any policies, but... Oh, and we also, of course, want to connect it up to the highways as well, at least once we actually put something in there that people might care about other than the train station. Get a feeling that might already be heavily used. Not yet, but I get a feeling that's going to change real quick. Wait a sec, exactly. Train lines. Make sure we have names on all the lines so that we can actually figure out what that was. Central to the forest, 2 stops, 2 vehicles. Metro line 3? What do we want to call that line? It's the one that starts at the university. Oh yeah, and ends at Central Station. So that's University to Central. That was easy. Not so worried about the colors quite yet, because right now it's just not an issue. God, that's a lot of people on that line, though. And they're still just... wow. And they're actually using the maximum amount of vehicles. Whew. Let's hope that that either goes down a little bit, or we soon get to an area where we can start pushing our budgets up a little bit. Again, I'm just hoping that public transport is going to at least slightly solve our issue. So, and now exactly we need highway on and off ramps. Oh, this could be a little bit ugly. Well, that actually is going to work, so that's good. We don't actually want to go down there yet. Yeah, that's right. We want to come down here. Connect up here. Then we'll have that connect there. That worked out better than I hoped. And the way off will actually be over here. And they can turn around here if they want to go over there, so I don't really think we need to give them a way to swap over. So, that of course, however, means that we need some more upsizing of our roads to give turning off and turning on lanes. Oh, we never did that there. Oops, that was a mistake. So you go there. You go there. We'll actually turn this into a 2-lane on the way in. They can switch if they have to, and they have separate turning lanes. I think that should work fine. Traffic coming from here and from here over to here, there shouldn't actually be too super heavy. That said, those could also be famous last words. But I think since most of their commercial is over there anyway, again, it really shouldn't be an issue. Oh, that's right. Now I remember what we do want in here. We want a high-rise ban. Definitely want a high-rise ban. And now just some basic like commercial, maybe some offices. Which, there, that's what I'm looking for.
Whether you have a new phone, an old phone, or just leave it on vibrate, we make sure you always hear your phone in our commercials. It's our way of saying, we hear you. So don't be silenced when opportunity calls, pick it up. It's for you. Akio Mobile.
Yeah, that looks fine. Again, they shouldn't really need a huge commercial area of their own back here. And again, famous last words. There do already seem to be quite a few people lined up here. So now let's throw in that park. Nothing massive, just something to give this place just a little bit of character. Where am I clicking? So toss in our fence. Okay, this is where we need to start anarchying things in. And also turning off some things. Oh, that'll work. It's a little bit out, or a little bit far in, but Oh, why was it not going to do that? So, now this is all set up as a park. So we'll want like a plaza over here. Maybe a chessboard over here. Restrooms and a souvenir shop or something like that, just around the main entrance. Put a cafe back here, maybe. Gazebo or two. Oh, and we actually don't even have all the park assets available to us yet, so. Probably gonna have like 0 visitors, but still, it just looks like a little bit of something. If it ever eventually levels up, then we'll see if we can put like some more stuff in there. But for right now, it's actually more about the overall look and feel of this area than anything else. And yeah, I forgot that. Kind of figured I would. That just looks stupid. Or it will make us look stupid at some point in time. We'll see. So, did that public transport, because now it's been running a little bit, actually help anything up here? Nah, not really. So I think we may have to go and do this with a somewhat more iron fist. You see all this high density residential in here? I don't think we need that anymore. At least not right now. And the same applies to the commercial. We're actually going to unzone basically our entire main city block. As crazy as that may sound. And I'm fairly certain it does sound pretty nuts, because now that I'm really listening to myself say that out loud, I'm thinking, are you daft? But, well, 1, yes. And 2, yeah, we need these people to relocate. If they don't relocate, farming never goes up, and then this amusement park basically never really, yeah, then none of this will ever really start to work properly, so to speak. In fact, we're going to go so far and so hard that we're actually going to take that chunk with us too. Knock out all of this commercial. Basically just have a few landmarks and monuments in there, which is good, because that kind of, one, it's going to force them hopefully to start moving into some of this low density area. Because I just, as dumb as it sounds, watching the election yesterday, I thought of one thing about city skylines that's just really awesome, that you don't, yeah, it just makes it a little bit different from the real world. If this really causes huge problems and we start tanking our economy, well, there's a little checkbox I can set in mods that says unlimited money, and hey, guess what? That problem just suddenly solved itself. So yeah, if nothing else, we can just let it come in until the point where it's actually running again, and yeah, if everything goes to, yeah, goes pear-shaped, then infinite money, problem solved. And now, of course, a lot of people are going to be mad at us. But that's good. We want them to be mad. We want them to be so mad that they move out of this central city. Yes, guys, that's the point. Get out! I don't care where you go. Just go somewhere else. Preferably one of our low-density residential areas. You know, like out here. And the same, of course, applies to the commercial. But they're not giving themselves too much effort, are they? Down to 184,000. The game's starting to run again reasonably. Because I really don't want to go in and destroy this if we don't have to. Because right now that's still basically the primary engine of everything. We could, however, knock out these commercial zones, especially this low density zone, and just hope that some of them start moving back in over here. That's the whole point. We want them to move either in here or up here. One or the other. I'm actually not even too particular about which one. Just choose one and move. Any visitors? Yeah, we got one visitor! Yoo-hoo! One person actually used this park. So, yeah, somebody paid 20 bucks to walk through there. Yeah, let's knock out traffic lights, exactly. Knock out traffic lights, not leave them in. So we may as well do our turning lanes as well if we're already in here. So let's see what that train looks like. Transporting passengers to Santa Palma. Oh, that's right, because this one is still set to allow intercity trains, and we don't actually want that. I like how they put these two offices up here really fast, though. This actually look pretty nice. They fit well to that right behind the train station spot. Kind of like you come out of the train station, oh, I got these huge buildings here. What we will do, though, is we'll change the rest of it to commercial. In fact, we'll go so far as to make this actually its own little separate district. It's just kind of like a micro district. Only this area. Yeah, that was not what we wanted to do. There, that's what we want to do. And what we'll actually do is we'll set the commercial in here to tourism. So that, if nothing else, they at least have like one or two hotels right up here next to the train station. Don't tell me that's set to tourism. No, that's just normal low density. Okay. Those may never come in. Seriously, still wondering why we're not getting more workers here. Although it is finally going up again. Oh, we're finally up to 90, I think, for like the first time ever. So the farming industry is starting to work. And none of that is too high. It's still okay. Especially when the rest starts coming in around it. $91. Yeah, we might actually get that working today finally. So all these people are gone. This beautiful amusement park is basically doing nothing now, probably. Well, does appear to still be making... No, it's not making money anymore because now nobody's using it anymore. But again, that was to be expected. All these services up here, of course, also unnecessary. We could, of course, turn everything off, but we'll just leave it because we're eventually going to go back up that way anyway. Question now, though, is do we want any more changes in here? I think these large roads are going to open it up enough, to be honest. So we won't modify anything down in here, except that we will add yet another district. Where is that button? There it is. By knocking this area out, I can actually use a much bigger brush for that. And we'll actually put this right up next to the tourism district, as well as right off of the highway. And this will just be a little red light district, so to speak. As a leisure district, and again, they just generally tend to be red, the lights at night, and that's why I call it the red light district. I don't know what they actually do in there. I'm not even entirely sure I want to. So we're down to 184,000 people. So, yeah, next sacrifice. Is going to be this area. One more lamb. One more slaughter. Oh, that's right, there's no zoning in there anywhere, so that absolutely would not matter. Oh, and in fact, we can actually leave the commercial zoning that was in there. That was actually not an issue. That was actually just what we're going to want anyway. You know what? We won't have commercial in here. That close to the university. I took low density. Yes, I did. Just pushed the wrong button, as usual. Obviously, we're going to knock out any zoning here on this side. Oh, that's actually the button we just used by mistake. Sometimes you get so in the rhythm of using the right button and the left button in alternate that you just wind up unzoning things that you're actually wanting to zone. Because the right button unzones and the left button zones, so yeah. You know what? No, we'll leave this. I think as far as commercial goes, they're actually reasonably set. Especially if we add just a little bit more in here. Which we actually had before. So now we watch hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people run for their lives and try to find a new job somewhere. They don't appear to be trying very hard either, to be honest. But it's also nice because it gives us a little bit of a better look at what the road layout is, so we can really see a little bit better whether or not we might actually want to put parks or something in somewhere. Not sure why we have this bridge. I'm sure it has a purpose. Not sure what it is. Afraid we might find out sooner rather than later, but which is not to say we're almost guaranteed to find out sooner rather than later. And this one's obvious. This one's just to make sure traffic can keep flowing through. But we will pull that down a little bit. So put it, say, to about here. Somewhere where trucks can still get underneath it, but it looks just fine, I think. Didn't quite get him the way we wanted it to. Yeah, come on, that's more than high enough. Anybody should be able to get under there. This one was also still super high. Or unnecessarily high, I should at least say. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we actually have any more bridges back in here yet. And we probably won't even want any. Yeah, exactly. And when these have come in, then we'll start going through some of the commercial backyards and residential backyards and things like that with a forest brush. Just to add in some more trees. But I really don't want to start displacing them now. Just very fearful that it may actually be necessary. I mean, they're necessary so that this can run. And this is actually still running reasonably well. What is that? Goods from oil. Oh, it's just a large oil pump, or it looks like a large oil pump. That's why I thought they were putting in what should I say? Putting in a high rise or something like that, like a skyscraper, like a big office building. But I'm seeing we actually have quite a few of those, and that's actually what gives this oil industry actually that yeah, that's basically the whole reason for the Skyline is those. Exactly. Didn't we want to consider moving that over to maybe here-ish? Just for better resource acquisition. Exactly. We'll now allow them U-turns. I think that was one of the mistakes that we had on these. Yeah, they're all no U-turn roads, which is of course Schulbit. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of having 4 lanes in there, so that they can make U-turns if they want to. Because that should then also make it easier for them to cycle back here. Seriously, they were never able to make U-turns. Then it's no wonder that all of this wasn't running well.
You give your money to us and we'll grow with interest. That's the plan, at least. Maybe that's too complicated for you. Imagine planting a money
But
tree.
where they are now, they should really have no problems at all getting
Imagine if you had a money pet and you fed it more money, and after digesting
not enough
it,
special goods, and that's public transport and cargo, so that would be that.
so you use a little money to catch
Let me
a
guess.
You know, just come in and talk to us.
No, that's actually trash. Okay.
To avoid saying what we
Oh,
really
they have
do with
their
your
special goods already for some reason.
money.
Who cares? It's working.
Don't you want money for nothing? Yeah, you do. What's the catch? There is one. Anyone who
Well,
wants
again, there's still the issue of the main city
day sleepaway camp is the perfect place to
needing
strike it
to
rich.
come back in.
They're the #1 dream makers in the region.
What was that? Road maintenance, waste transfer, park maintenance. Yeah, so this is all still set up reasonably well.
This is exciting. This offer is just for you because you deserve
I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to see really what just the infrastructure demands of an area like that are. But what we, more importantly, really need is for these people to come back in. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to slam down our budgets for low density. Not our budgets, but our taxes. And see if that doesn't incentivize them to move in. And so what's the story up here? Hey, they're up. Woo! 130 workers. As soon as they hit 150, we finally level up. So that's almost worth a celebration, which is kind of good timing because I have to once again re-unlock the Twitch chat. I hate having to do this on a cell phone, really. Maybe one day I'll be a famous, rich streamer and actually be able to afford things like decent hardware. I very much doubt it. But yeah, who cares? But yeah, 130 people already. That's nice. That's kind of the exact sort of development we were hoping for. So let's just watch that tick up a little bit. And then soon that should actually be earning money because now then we can start making paper soon. Yeah, I think 133. So it is going up. It's not going up super fast, but it's going up much, 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 much faster than it used to be. 134. I mean, this is more workers in what, 30 minutes than we got in a whole episode. Not even 30 minutes. 135. 15 more workers. This is almost like watching electoral vote numbers. One more. Yes, come on. Can we get 270? I really hope all that went well. Well, then again, 2 weeks later, so today, we will probably know whether or not that went well by now, at least in some way, shape, or form. Because, yeah, as this is being filmed, it's actually the day after election night, so. Is it even the day? Yeah, it's actually 1.5 days after election night, now that I think about it. Doesn't really matter. Who cares? So, yeah, 137 workers, another 13. We're almost there. That said, we're also going to need more workers for the next level, so this might get very interesting very fast. But we're also going to put some zoned industry in here, as well. The big question is just going to be like the large, what's the word I'm looking for? Large tree plantations, how much space those are actually going to take. But I think those are actually just as wide as the small ones, just much longer. So we may, at least that's my idea, be able to put those back in here. If we really have to, then we'll just use the move it mod and just like take a whole section of this and move it over. But I would really kind of like to avoid doing that. We may not have a choice though. We'll see in 11 workers. Yeah, I think adding public transport definitely helped. Well, I'm pretty sure it helped, actually. Hilariously, though, a lot of the public transport we previously added is now basically probably going to be near useless. Because, for example, to get to the central station, they can get on a train over here. There is no residential or commercial over here to speak of. So there's no real reason for them to have public transport in here. That said, there is still this tram line running from here straight up to Central Station. So there's still going to be some public transport traffic, but I get a feeling that's going to have, in most places, gone down significantly. Let's see. Central to Forest, 2293, that's okay. Yeah, and these are just, yeah, they're down to 400. Oh, that's right, those were the train lines. The Metro was actually the big carrier. Yeah, I mean, numbers have skyrocketed down. Can you skyrocket down? Is that the way to put it? I think it's more like they've dug themselves a huge, massive hole. Why? Well, they're just not coming in as fast as we'd like to. I think that's what's going on. I mean, over here they're not going to, of course. And I don't think it's a traffic issue, though, that they're not getting in. Nah, 82%. Traffic flow over here is just fine. Traffic flow over here is a bit heavy, but not screw the world heavy. And this is all industry reflux traffic anyway. These are people that have already delivered their goods or are coming in with new goods, so. The oil industry, exactly how's this working now with this being down here? Just as good / horribly as it was before. Again, we may still have to go in and redesign this area. Building is on fire. I'm just going to assume that the fire department can get there. Is that still on fire, or is it already burned down? Oh no, they put it out. Okay. Just looks like it's like it already burned down. Come on, guys. There's so much residential space in here. Just move in. That's all you have to do. You like to move in, move in. And I get a feeling they're going to want to move here. At least some of them. We may or may not put a bridge over this eventually. We will do turning lanes on it. No, they didn't really want a bridge and want to walk there for whatever reason. Oh, this is all kind of like semi-university traffic too, and I didn't notice we still had traffic lights in here anywhere. Then again, I don't think I ever really looked in the university whether or not we had traffic lights. I don't think we ever even gave a second thought to traffic management in the university area, did we? I think we may not have even given a first thought to it now that I look at all this. Just going to assume we set up a roundabout. No, that's not what I want to do. In fact, it's probably better not to assume that, so we'll come back and take a look at that in just a few seconds. That should be every crossing set up that can be set up. Oh, that's because of the parking right there, that's right. Yeah, the roundabout we wanted to take a look at exactly. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. Okay, so at least we set that up. Not that the university is going to be a huge problem at this point anyway. The university may actually lose a few levels simply as a result of not having enough students. Is it only that one road? Yeah, it really is only that one traffic light, okay. So give them dedicated turning lanes. Oh, that's only on anyway, okay. How is the university doing though? Just out of curiosity. Oh, we still have 8,000 students in it, so. And that gives me an idea. Since we're still probably getting a huge amount of not enough workers complaints. Biomass pellet. Oh yeah, the forestry industry has finally reached 50 workers. Excellent. I've got an idea. There is a policy in the game for city planning called Industry 4.0. You get more production, but you also lose 30% workplaces in your zoned industry. That said, all of this is zoned industry. However, it requires well and highly educated citizens. I think we can actually go with that, so let's just see what happens. We just set that as a citywide policy. So all zoned industry, and that includes the zoned ore and oil industries in here, now require well and highly educated workers. That means the less educated workers should actually be more likely to work in commercial zones. And that should then basically have the effect of taking workers out of the industry and putting them into commercial, while simultaneously providing workspaces for our highly educated people in the industry. Probably going to fail miserably, but I think it's worth a shot. So only that one that we still, for some reason, had in there. It appears to have only been that one yet. Now we have 100 businesses with not enough workers. No, that's actually not enough customers, isn't it? Yeah, no place for goods. Exactly. Not enough workers is actually not an issue currently in most of these. But again, the idea is to just force people to rethink their life choices, and I think it may have worked. We're getting some more growth back in here. And now that we're down to 178, we can actually see this bar move again. Still not moving super fast, but it is moving notably faster than it was with almost 100,000 more people in here. I think that may have been what we needed. That said, a lot of this industry is going to start knocking itself out just as a result of not having enough customers. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because we probably have an unemployment rate of like minus 200%. And we actually do have 3% unemployment. That's a bit surprising. Although I get a feeling that's primarily as a result of just relocation and things like that. So let's go up here and take a new look at Autumn Forest Products. They now have 156 workers. They need 350. Yeah, so might take a while. What do we have as far as new buildings go? We have the small tree sapling field. The difference is 6,400 units and 4,800. So they're the same size but larger production. So we will knock these out and replace them with sapling fields. So, and exactly, that was storage for those. Now we basically want to see what the story is on the biomass pellet plant. That wants to be set off a road that way. So we'll put that out here. Say, I think here-ish. Let's turn our angle snapping and things like that back on. Thank you. So, and they'll have a sawdust storage, raw forest products for raw forest products. 400,000 exactly. We'll put sawdust storage over here. 2 of them, one set to empty and one set to balanced. Hello. Oh, I have just chatting. Oh, I'm sorry about that. No, this is actually basically a pure Cities Skyline stream, but then again, I'll just change that in 10 minutes. But thanks for letting me know, man, and welcome back. That was the just chatting was just from the quick note yesterday still that I popped out. But how are you doing, if we're already on the topic? So, can we get more in there? Yes, we can. In fact, we can get another. That won't work. It doesn't have to. Also, once again, balanced and empty. And what we want, though, now on the way out is actually a warehouse, exactly. And they'll be set for... What do these make? Paper, I'm going to assume. So now our biomass plants, pellet plants should be providing us with jobs as well as paper. Definitely have space for more workers. We had 150 workers already. Why has this gone down? We didn't... Oh, because we tore those out. That's right. Because we tore those out and put in the sapling fields. That's probably what caused that. Yeah, I'm fine so far too. Just glad that that we're finally starting to get somewhere with the whole redesign idea. And that our forestry industry is finally running. But again, yeah, I mean, this episode's going to end in like 10 minutes or so, and then I'll just toss out the just chatting tag from the Twitch stream and change it back to Cities Skylines, although it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can talk and build at the same time. That's basically the whole point of this. Yeah, a lot of that industry is just throwing itself out. We're not really getting the commercial growth we want, but we are getting some growth, so... Yeah, it's a waiting game. Once again, it's a waiting game. I hate playing waiting games. That said, we're probably way over as far as things like garbage go, for example. Yeah, we could probably reduce our budget on that to like half of what it is. Probably do the same for healthcare and police. Healthcare and police, not healthcare and fire. Never want to go too low with fire. It's just... Fire is surprising. Fire will always trick you. So, how is healthcare? Yeah, okay, that... Yeah, so now healthcare coverage sucks. Okay, so we'll just run our budgets back up to where they were. Doesn't matter, again, if everything goes wrong, I'll just put a quick click on unlimited money until the city recovers and be done with it that way. Although what we could do, we could probably at least knock down our park budget a little bit. Well, that's not really going to make much of a difference, and it's actually probably going to cost us tourist income. We'll just leave it the way it is. These, though, we are... Oh, no, in fact, we can actually... No, we'll leave those where they are, that's right, because we don't really need more in the way of public transport right now. And at least periodically we are still making money, so... Yeah, now there's just more and more coming in, it appears. Another one over there. Yeah, it's getting there, it's getting there. We're basically, yeah, again, we basically just cut back the entire city that we built over there in the quest to turn this into low density. And it does actually appear to be working. Question is, do we want to cut this back as well? Because that is high density residential. And that's actually kind of like more a low density area. Or the kind of area where you would expect to see low density. Especially with like the old market square in there. In fact, I'd also kind of like to turn this into like a more Baroque theme as well around the sides. We'll take a look at that later, some other time. So, is there anything we can reasonably do right now to help anything move faster? Not really. We have the resources for the next level, so yeah, it's once again just about workers. And workers, yeah, they have space to move in up here, they're just not moving into the low density areas yet. At least not in the super massive numbers we would like to see. But hey, at least they've already got it up to level 2, and yeah, we're up to 170 out of the 350 we need, so it is moving, it is moving. In fact, let's 8 out of 25, 12 out of 12, 11 out of 12, 12 out of 12, 9 out of 25, 12 out of 12. I think that's just the issue. Yeah, these are just because all of this is now recently built. They just have to kind of regrow their worker numbers. Something pinged. There's a warning for something somewhere. Ah! A building is on fire. I think the fishing island will probably get fire service on time. Two helicopters are already there, so yeah. I think they might make it. Problem solved, yeah. So, and the primary issue is not enough educated workers is now the problem we're having with the industry. So, okay, Industry 4.0 maybe wasn't the idea we want. Bit surprised at that. I was kind of hoping that would. Oh, and that went really quick that they found the workers again, didn't it? So, okay, we need more education if we want to put in Industry 4.0. And we need more people if we want more education. And, yeah. Basically more of everything. And possibly less high-density residential. There's... You know what? It might hurt, but again, if all else fails, there's always the infinite money mod. Not a fan of it, but if we need it, it's there. So we'll just unzone this entire area as well. And also turn it into basically the same thing as everything else. Low density. That over there. Oh, they don't have a walking path over there, do they? It's obviously a bit of a fail. I know how we'll do this. This needs to start here. Ah, it's starting just a hair too close to that, that's why. So, now the kids can use the train to get to school. I'll pull that down just a hair. So they don't basically have PE class every morning on the way to school already. Whoa, look at how many people are running out this way though. All going to the university probably, right? No, because the university is actually not till over here. Okay. But I get the feeling this is going to be heavily used pretty soon. I actually really like the way that comes in too. It just fits here really well. See if we can't move that node just a hair. Yeah. Look at that huge amount of people in that station. In fact, we'll go first person camera on one. This is a social distancing nightmare. Everybody here needs a $400 fine. And again, we're not really giving them all that many other places to go, are we? Down to 163,000. Still getting some minor growth. That's good. So, did we hit everything on the outside? Not quite. Always with the right click. Just wondering, game wouldn't let me. Huh? Why can I not use the marquee tool anymore now? Did I zone too much or what? What's going on here? I can't zone anything anymore for some reason. Ah. Now I can. Okay. That was interesting. So, filled all that in. Obviously, we don't want that to be residential. Ah, it's because now I see what the problem is. I'm off the edge of my mouse pad. I was just wondering, like, what kind of a weird behavior is this? And of course, if your mouse is in the air, it's probably not going to see anything. And if it can't see anything, it can't figure out where the flip it is. And if it can't figure out where the flip it is, it doesn't really care about where the flip you want to go. Oh, that can actually be set to no longer empty. I don't think that's a problem anymore. Especially since it is already empty. Do we have any more cemeteries in here that need to be dumped into someone else's lap? No, I don't think we do. Come on, people. Just move into all this beautiful, low density residential area. It's not that much of a problem. You can do it. You did it before. Ah, see? They're listening. They're stubborn, but they're listening. Oh, that's actually an upgrade already. Okay. So, now this industry is doing halfway fine. We may want to put those on different roads as well. Or at least one of them. Like, for example, I'm thinking maybe also back in here. Because not enough raw materials is kind of a constant issue with them. And since the trucks are already coming in from up here, it actually really shouldn't be too much of a problem for them to get raw materials. Assuming, of course... Oh, wait a sec. That's what we need. We need a warehouse in here somewhere. Doesn't have to be a big one, but it does have to work. Let's put it that way. Balanced and empty. And they'll just basically send then their trucks around this corner, so to speak. Everybody will be trying to fill this one, and then any overflow here will go into that, and then theoretically it should contain traffic for this into this area, and then the only thing we'll actually have here is outflowing goods. Probably just completely screwed our traffic instead of anything else reasonable. But we shall see. Again, this was either a good idea or a huge mistake. Then again, this whole industry area is starting to look like more and more of a huge mistake the longer it runs. Then again, it's also currently like kind of the only industry area actually doing anything, so there's that too. They're slowly getting there. 158 out of 347. And there's also still quite a bit of room left in here, so barely 2,000 people live up there. Even the one hotel that's in there doesn't have enough workers. Is Park ever getting anywhere? In 10 million years, maybe. The main issue may actually be that you can't just walk right through, because that would make it a legitimate shortcut. So what we'll do, we'll actually change that and make exactly that possible. Just like say from walking there to say here. So that way it is actually a legitimately shorter path for at least some people, for people that want to get to the train station. Although there don't even actually seem to be that many of those, so. But yeah, we are out of time for this episode. So I hope you got always managed to catch my tongue on that one. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube or to follow me here on Twitch. And yeah, you guys have been great. I've been Zerb. I'll see you next episode. Cheers.